Hello, this is Lacey of Lacey and Mary Astrology and Tarot, and this is going to be a vlog here. I'm hoping to do some ramblings and stuff about ideas that I have or things that I look up as an astrologer. I use astrology for my family all the time, and so today I was going to look at my daughter's chart for prom night, which I don't know if all of you know this. This is like one of the most scariest nights for parents, possibly, even if your child is like super wonderful and responsible, you still are like, oh shit. Anyway, I'm not on camera today because I'm getting over COVID and it really, really sucks. So let's look at the ideas for prom night. I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see my daughter's chart. And so here it is. So this is my daughter. This is her birth information. And then this is, I just picked a rando time, 10:57 p.m. Friday night. This is when she's going to be going to prom. As I'm recording this, it's Thursday, May 5th at 12:22 p.m. So it hasn't happened yet. So you're always looking for, I'm always like, okay, my daughter is definitely very responsible, but she's definitely done some things in the past that are like, well, that was a Uranus moment, an unexpected moment, right? That was a, oh, interesting choices moment, not the choices I would have made. So overall, she's completely awesome. But, sometimes there are those moments that made me go, I wonder. And I have this idea of, hey, let's look at the night in question and see what's going on with the transit. So I want to look for maturity. So the thing I'm going to look for first, I'm going to look at her Saturn. And we're going to look at the transiting Saturn here in Aquarius, which is great. And we're going to look at her natal Saturn here in Cancer, which is combust. This is a difficult Saturn. Saturn likes to be slow and have boundaries, and Cancer likes to be quick and moving, and it's free-flowing water, right? So let's look at what Saturn is doing here right now. I like seeing some of these oppositions, right? So I can see that she's got Saturn in an opposition to this Pluto here, right? And it's going right over her Venus. So I know that she's going to be having sort of strong power struggles between keeping things under wraps, right? Doing what she wants to do and doing what she knows maybe her mother would want her to do, right? The mature feminine in her life. So she's already got sort of this interesting feeling restricted around, powerful feelings anyway. So in a way, I kind of like seeing this here because this means that she's going to be thinking. I want to see squares and oppositions because I want to see her thinking. Squares and oppositions are moments to think. Trines are things that are sort of easy, right? These are easies. These are holding hands, right? Like Saturn and Mars are holding hands this night. Her natal Saturn here, so her boundaries and her restrictions are her resource here. And it's holding hands with Mars this night, Mars in Pisces, of her over her 10th house of achievements, which can be an indicator of I want to do these, fun, artistic things with my friends. And hopefully they are in line with her restrictions. So they're like holding hands this night. I kind of like seeing this because Saturn and Mars aren't fighting this night, right? The actions I'm going to take go in line with my restrictions, my boundaries. So I do like seeing this. We've got Neptune here, and Neptune's another thing I want to look at, and I'll bring up Neptune in a second. But let's look at her. Oh, the other thing we have going on is we have the moon conjunct her Saturn. So this is mom, right? Moon can represent mom, and moon is going through her second house of resources over that Saturn. So she's going to have, I think, me sort of in the back of her mind going, oh, hey, is this something that mom would, think was like, okay-ish, and I'm not a super strict mom. So I like that she will have me sort of with her in her boundaries, right? Informing her boundaries, right? The moon is going to be illuminating, is this help our inner world? It could also be, feeling restricted too, right? So, I mean, there's always a light side and a shadow side to everything. It could be restricting her having a good time, or it could be, my mom would say yes. And I'm thinking that since, Mars is here and Saturn's here, that, and they're holding hands, that it'll be more inclined to be a sort of fun thing that maybe mom would approve of. Anyway, yeah, so natal Saturn, or sorry, Saturn is over her sun here. It's over her sun and her Neptune. They're a little out of conjunction, but we still see that Saturn is in its domicile of Aquarius. It is making good decisions right now. It is on top of her Juno here, which is kind of nice for me to see, because Juno can be an indicator sometimes of where we feel comfortable to betray other people or feel betrayed. So I like that Saturn is here sort of restricting that, maybe desire to betray is kind of how it makes me think about. And we've got Saturn here with Neptune. Now, Neptune can blur lines, right? Neptune can make things sound more fun. Neptune is about escapism, right? And so if you're not sort of listening to your highest self and you're escaping with, so drugs or alcohol, right? Then Neptune can blur the lines with Saturn. But Saturn is really, really strong here. So I'm more inclined to think that Saturn is going to help this Neptune sort of structure more than Neptune overpowering that Saturn there. So I really like that a lot. And let's see, again, we have a Saturn in a sextile to Mars, right? So we saw over here, we saw the Saturn trining Mars here. We see Saturn sextiling Mars here. This is a good time to me. This looks like, my committed partners and my restrictions would be in agreement, right? In some capacity, there's an ease here in some capacity. So to me, the lighter side of this is I'm having fun and it's within my boundaries, right? The shadow side would be like, my parents can't see me, but I think I'd be more concerned with that if this Saturn were in the 12th house or in the 8th house, right? I think I'd be more concerned with that there, but Saturn's in pretty good aspect, right? And we've got Saturn in quincunx. There's a rock in the shoe here, right? So this means this is another opportunity to be like, I better not. Saturn in quincunx to Saturn, right? There's a thought, there's a biquintile here too, right? So there's something about Saturn and Saturn natally and transiting, talking to each other and saying, that's going to be rocking our shoe about this. Maybe we shouldn't, do this thing that other people want to do. It's not within our highest good. So I like seeing that here. Things that I am looking at. So we have the sun going through her 12th house of sort of hidden life and loss. So I'm expecting that this sun is going to shed light on, sort of maybe some hidden things. Maybe she'll discover some things about herself this night that are hidden that maybe she'll like, right? We've got a trine over here to Priapus and to Venus here, right? That's good to me anyway. She is going to be with her boyfriend. We all know that, sexy things can happen that night, which for me and my daughter, we've talked about a lot. So we talk as openly as possible, I believe, about these things. So I'm not super concerned about her being safe with sex. In fact, I know that she will be. So I like that a lot. And then unexpected here, I'm hoping that this is going through, this place, that it'll be good. Eros here, Eros and the sun together. I mean, Eros is all about what we find sort of sexually irresistible. So irresistible sex will be there in the night, and we've got an eclipse happening here. So that is an indicator of great beginnings and great endings. So this is an indicator of possibly, something a little more saucy happening for her, which I applaud. So there's that with me. Mostly I'm concerned about Neptune. I'm concerned about drugs and alcohol. I can see that she has a square to this natal Mars here. This is awesome. This means that powerfully she is going to be considering the challenges that will come with this Neptune. Now, Jupiter is here as well, and Jupiter goes, oh my God, have more, have better, let's do this, let's blow this up. It's in its style, right? But Jupiter is going to be more constructive rather than destructive. So I'm more inclined to think that Jupiter is going to be playing on her beliefs here, right? Playing upon her better, higher self here, rather than her more secretive self. If this were happening in the 12th house, I think I might be a little bit more concerned, because then let's do so much, but let's hide it, right? Or for in the 8th house, let's do this, but let's hide it, right? Like that would be more of an issue for me. But it's out here in her 10th house of being seen with authority, right? So she wants to be seen as like a power couple, right? She wants to be seen as magnetic and cool with her friends, right? But she's got these squares here too. These things are opportunities to say, should I act on that in this party? Should I not? I want to be truthful, right? Because she has, it's Sagittarius, so that's nice. She's probably going to help navigate the truth of these matters, in fact. So I like that a lot. Okay, so that's that. And then look at natal Neptune here. Yeah, we've got the natal Neptune also has squares here with that 12th house of hiding. So she's going to be definitely going with her highest self, right? This 9th house, highest self, highest education, right? Highest best beliefs here. And then the sun here is like, we're illuminating this 12th house. You can see that, you know, maybe this decision wouldn't be the best. So I like what I'm seeing. I like that I'm seeing these squares. I like that I'm seeing these trines, right? Trines with she's encouraged to have a good time, right? You know, her boundaries are encouraging her to have a good time. So that is my 2 cents about it that I was looking at in the middle of the night last night, sort of in my little ranty thing. And yeah, so hopefully, you know, if you can look at your children's charts and you are worried about them going out on the night before, you can call Mary and I. We can look at the chart together and tell you what we see. Yeah, so it's a good thing to see. Or, you know, if you are an astrologer and you have children, you know, and you want to know how it's going to go for them, take a look at Neptune. What's Neptune aspecting? Are there squares? Squares are good, right? What's Saturn aspecting? What are the boundaries, right, that they're setting for themselves? Are there squares there, right? Are there opportunities there? Anyway, so things to look at. Okay, thanks so much for listening, and we are done. Bye.